Okay, so now we're done with the identification and measurement of the devices. So now I'll be teaching you how to measure the containments, because the measurement of electrical feeders will be on the uh, next part of uh, the training. So so just like the measurement of devices, first we have to identify first our equipment. But this time, instead of using the device function, we will now be using the pipework. So there are three types. First is the single line, second is identify cable tray, and third is circuit identify. So later I will show you how these three differs with each other. So first, from the navigation bar, click cable conduit, then add new element. Under the elements of cable conduits are the conduit, cable tray, combined conduit, trunking, and cable. So please take note also that if you want to measure the electrical cables or the electrical feeders, you will also be using this function, cable conduit. So since we are now with the containment layout or the containment system, and we want to measure the cable tray, so let us add cable tray. And then uh, first thing to do is change its description based on the tagging of the cable tray or the containment. So for here, we want to measure the 400 by 50 millimeter cable tray for normal. So we'll be using that description, 400 mm by 50 mm cable tray for normal. Yeah. And for the width and height, we may change it 450. Yeah. We can choose if we want to add this on the element list or in the description or not. Yeah. Just uncheck the box here if you don't want and check if you want. Yeah. For the system, you may use power system or you may check it or not if you don't want. It doesn't matter. So for the colors, just a little tip from you guys. For example, for this type of layout, uh, if you want to change its color according to the color of the layout itself, much better because you will not notice the connection after if there were missed out if you not follow the colors of the containment on the layout here. So now we're done with the setting up of its description. So we will start now the measurement. So for the single line is used for yes, a simple line. You will just measure the line here from here to here. So in this case, it is not applicable. I will show you. Yeah. So that's it. It will measure the um, entire line only. So for this case, it is not applicable because we want to use the Cubicost TME 2018 to its full potential, or in short, we want to maximize the tools and functions of Cubicost TME. So if there were other methods to measure this much faster, so we will use that. Yeah, like that. So for example, yeah, we were able to get a wrong result. Just delete the entity, just like that. Just highlight the whole entity and then press delete. So that's for the single line. For the identify cable tray, just like what is shown here, in the symbol of identify cable tray, you will see a two parallel lines here. So in short, we must have a uh, two parallel lines for to be able to use that. But in the case of the containment layout here, is only a single line. So we will not be able to use that. But if the layout of your containment is just like a real pipe layout, or there were two parallel lines, I suggest that I suggest for you to use this one. So that's the function of identifier cable tree. And for the circuit identify, it will identify the connection of mm, the containments itself. But please take note that the lines here must be interconnected with each other, or must be connected with each other. Because for example, if you have just like here, in the case of this one, you will see here that this line is not directly connected to this line that I'm showing you here. So there's a chance, or there's a probability that this line will not be measured if I identify the circuit of this one. So it is still important for you to validate the measurement, or your measurement, because after all, this is still a computer, and computer has its disadvantages also, or does encounter error. So for this one, we will be using the circuit identify. So just just what I did earlier, click circuit identify, and you will say comment here, a direction, say select circuit segment, then right click to confirm. So we will left click this circuit, and then right click to confirm. Click to modify identify circuit, then right click to confirm. If we still want to modify, for example, there's a line here that that's supposed to be connected with this circuit, or with this containment, and wasn't identified by the software. So just click that. Or for example, you see that it that the software included this line, but it wasn't supposed to be included. Then just click modify. Then right click. But if everything is correct, just press right click, or just right click to confirm. And then it will show you your element list. And since we did what we did earlier is we identified, or we put the elements, or we did the element list before measuring the containment, just click the 400 and 550 cable tray for normal and press OK. Yeah. And then now it will show you that these lines were now connected to each other. So that's it. So that's how we measure the containment system, and hope you learned something new from me today. Thank you.